Welcome to the Growth Gyms podcast, where we believe that growth is a journey, not a destination. This podcast is designed to empower you with the necessary tools to unlock your full potential and develop yourself, both personally and professionally. We provide insightful conversations and share inspiring stories that will help you grow emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially. Our goal is to create a community of like-minded individuals who are on a journey of self-improvement and help you live a more fulfilling life. We aim to equip you with resources, strategies, and growth gems that you can apply in your daily life to achieve your goals and reach your full potential. So, get ready to embark on a journey of transformation and join us in discovering the power of growth.
Welcome, Growth Gym family. Thank you so much for joining me on today. I know you had a plethora of podcasts you could have been listening to, but thank you for stopping by Growth Gym Podcast. I am your host, Chris Briggs. Thank you so much for joining us. I need you to share this with all your family and friends, everybody you know who needs to be on this growth journey with us. For we know growth is a journey and not a destination. Hey, y'all, we got a great episode today on a word I've been hearing very frequently in my life for the past few weeks and maybe about a month or so. And I want to share with you all what I've learned and gleaned through these moments in my life. Today, we're going to be talking about boundaries. Boundaries. Boundaries is, first of all, what we have to understand, that boundaries are not meant to keep people out, but is meant to protect what's within. And so boundaries are meant to protect our purpose. All right. I'm already dropping growth gems on y'all. So I hope you know how we do it on this growth journey. You got your pen and your paper out. All right. As we continue to grow on this growth journey. All right. So let's look at this, because many of us struggle with setting limitations. We struggle with setting limitations because we don't want to seem to be unkind or unavailable or even unlovable. And so we find ourselves being afraid to set boundaries. But boundaries aren't rejection, they are redirection. They are about control. They are not about control, they're about calling. So the only people, let me say this, and I'm dropping growth gems on you already. The only people who get upset about you setting boundaries are the ones who benefit from you not having none. The people who get upset with you setting boundaries are the people who benefit of you not having any. They benefit of you always being present. They benefit from you always saying yes. And yes, it's the same way you say yes, the same way you can say no. And so it's very important that we understand that it's okay to set boundaries, because if you don't set boundaries, you will always be burned out. You will always be fatigued, tired, frustrated, because you're trying to satisfy everybody. You're trying to meet everybody's need. You're trying to help everybody, and you're no good to yourself. So today we're going to look at boundaries. The question is this, you all: what are really boundaries? Boundaries, here goes the definition I want to give. Boundaries are guidelines that define what's acceptable and what's not in your life. That is what boundaries are. Boundaries are to discover what is acceptable. What am I going to accept and what I'm not going to accept? And I think a lot of times we lower our standard of what we accept because we want to feel included. We want to feel like we are a part. But sometimes when you set boundaries, you're going to feel like you are alone. Sometimes you're going to feel like that you are by yourself. But it is important that you understand that when I set boundaries, it's for my safety, it's for my peace, and it's for my purpose and my protection. So when I set boundaries, I'm setting the fact of what am I going to allow to be acceptable in my life. I'm not going to be receptive to foolishness. I'm not going to be receptive to anything that's going to disturb my peace, anything that's going to derail me of my focus, anything that's going to cause me to be off track of my purpose, what I'm supposed to be doing, anything that's going to keep me from reaching the goals that I have. I'm not going to be receptive to it. And some people don't know how to handle that. They think you're being bougie. They think you're being better than them. But anytime you could, because you know the sweat and tears, you know the pain, you know all that you have put into where you are now, and you would be foolish to let a person, a place, or a thing get in the way of disturbing where you are. So it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to set those areas in your life that you need to set, that I'm not going to allow, that I'm not going to be accessible, or I'm not going to be so accessible, or not even the fact of I'm not going to be acceptable to those things. All right. So and let me say this also: a lot of times we too accessible. People have your number. They have no respect. People say, you put your phone on do not disturb. It's okay to do that, because sometimes we can be too accessible. And people try to demand, and even in my position as a pastor, people try to demand, I called you. Oh yeah, I saw that you called me. I don't lie. That's the thing, y'all. I don't lie. I don't say, oh, I didn't see it. Yeah, I saw you call me. I didn't answer right then. I was going to call you back. I was going to give you a call back, because some people want to you got to set those boundaries. All right. When you know your worth, and you know who you are, when there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, who you are, can I tell you, you will learn how to stop discounting your value. You will learn how to stop discounting who you really are. You will put boundaries on your worth. You will put boundaries on your accessibility. You will quit putting your life on discount and on the clearance rack. So people only come to you because they know they can get a deal. People only come to you because they know, oh, you'll help them, and I'm not saying that there's a problem or anything with being helpful to people, but people will use you as long as you allow them to use you. People will use you as long as they can get something out of you. And I need you to set boundaries that people will only use you. And everybody's motive, and I want to say this, everybody's motive is not a good motive. Everybody don't have the motive of wants to have your best interest at heart. Everybody don't have that motive. And there are people who are around you. That's why you got to set boundaries, because there are people around you who have hidden motives. And when you know who you are, you will quit discounting your life and discounting it on a cheaper level. Know your worth. Know who you are. All right. So this is what I want to quote by Brene Brown. Says, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. That was a good quote, because we're afraid of disappointing people, because we feel like you can't make every event. You can't be at everything. You can't do everything. You got to set those boundaries. All right. So I want to go through these different types of boundaries that we may want to look at in our lives as we continue to grow and set. These may be some areas, and I want to look at these areas that we need to look at in boundary setting. All right. First of all, we got to set boundaries with our time. You have to learn to say, I'm not available right now. I'm not available right now. I would love to connect with you, but I just can't do it right now at this moment. Timing is everything. And you have to set boundaries with your time. And I think what comes with setting boundaries, I want to say it takes discipline, because everybody's not disciplined enough to set those boundaries in your life. All right. And you have to have people around you who are okay when you don't have the time, who won't feel neglected, the people who don't wear their feelings on their sleeve, the people around you who won't be easily upset because you don't make time for them. But when you have a goal, a purpose in life, when you're trying to move forward and grow, there are times when you have to put time and energy into other things. And right now, you may not have that time to invest and put it to somebody else. But not only that, not only just goals, but just self-care. Sometimes you just got to pull away. You got to turn that phone off, social media, or whatever it may be. You have to do is take time and set boundaries. Hey, I'm setting time for myself today. Because if you're no good to yourself, you'll be no good for nobody else. So you have to set time and put boundaries with your time. That my time is very, very valuable. And what they say, time is money. That's something you can always replenish money, but you can never get time back. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So that's why it's very important that you steward your time very closely. And you understand you waste so much time strolling on social media. You waste so much time, you think about it. You stay in the bed. I'm an early riser. I go to bed pretty early, 9, 10 o'clock, I'm in the bed, all right? But I'm up 4:30, 5 o'clock. And it's not the fact that I got to punch a clock. It's the fact of that I get up because that's my time of me time. That's my time where I take time for myself. So when my family get up, hey, I'm already in the groove, or already prepared, and I'm already I'm already together because I've taken time for myself, all right? But then also you got to have emotional boundaries. All right. So we have to set time boundaries. Here go number 2. You got to set emotional boundaries. You are not responsible for managing others. You're not responsible of managing others' feelings or fixing everything. You're not Mr. Fix It. You're not Miss Fix It. You cannot fix everything. And many of us put too much time in fixing things that, I'm trying to see how can I put this. We spend so much time trying to fix stuff and put time and energy into things that people don't, they don't, they want it for the moment, but they don't want, and that's even relational. And I don't want to get too fast because that's one of the boundaries, relational boundaries that we're going to look at. But emotional, you put too much emotion in things. You're too emotional. You put too much, you're giving it too much emotion. You're putting too much heart into it. And I know, and the thing is, you putting heart and love and passion into something that has nothing to do with you. You got to learn how to set boundaries. That same love and passion and all in energy you're giving into somebody else's dream, somebody else's life, and into somebody else's vision, you got to give that to yours. You got to learn how to give that to your vision. You got to set boundaries. I'm only going to give you this limit. And it's not the fact that I don't care, because people will make you feel bad. That I promise you, people will try to make you feel bad because you're not invested like they are. That's your dreams. Those are your visions. So I don't expect for you to feel the way you feel about your dreams about mine. It's not going to happen. So you can't get mad at me because I don't have the invested interest in what you're doing. I don't have that same energy. I'm setting boundaries because I can't give my all to what you're doing, and then I just give the residue or give what is remaining to my dreams. And many of us we have done that. So you have to set boundaries, and set boundaries in a way where you understand that I'm not getting so emotionally tied to this. I'm not getting and it's not that I don't care, but I gotta set boundaries, and I want to help somebody with that today. You need to set boundaries emotionally when it comes to certain areas in your life. I'm not gonna get too emotional. You ever heard somebody say this? I'm not gonna get too emotionally involved, and sometimes we do. We get emotionally involved, and it has nothing to do with us. It's not our situation. It's not our trouble. It's not our problems. It's not what we. It's not us. But because we don't know how to separate, and we give it so much energy, so much heart and love, we just go all in. And you have people who give and go all in. And there's times when I found myself even doing that. And I'm like, hold on, let me back up. Because I'm steady pouring into this. And I want to say this. Many of us, we pour into empty jars, and we pour all we have into it. But when it's time, when we're running on E and empty, that jar that we have filled will not pour back into us. And so I want to challenge you, quit pouring all you have into one jar, into one thing, and it has no bearing on who you are. It's not even your project. It's not your dream. You're pouring your whole heart into somebody else. Take all that energy and set boundaries. Say, this is what I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to be, and to you, but I'm putting my time and energy into this. All right, here you go. You got to have, third of all, y'all, you got to have spiritual boundaries. You got to guard your time with God. Don't trade your devotion for distraction. You cannot trade your devotion for distraction. You got to set boundaries spiritually. That you got to have time of meditation, time of prayer, time of spiritual disciplines, that you put them into practice. Prayer, reading your word, meditation, that you are putting your spiritual practice into your life, and you set time. And it takes discipline. Think about it. There are religions and religions that are disciplined, that at certain times, 12, 3, 6, and other times they are praying. I don't care where they may be. They may be in the store, wherever they meet. I've seen Islams and Muslims, and I've seen them in the airport pray. Kneel down in prayer while we waiting for our plane, because of the discipline of their spiritual practice. And so that's where you got to be. You got to make time spiritually to spend time with God, that you may become better. Because like I stated, I'm no good to nobody if I'm no good to myself. I have to take time out to make sure that I'm in right standing, or I'm in good connect with God. I got to make sure that the signal is right. I got to make sure that we are on the same page, that our relationship is still in good standing. I got to make sure that my relationship with him is in good standing. And that's what you got to do. You got to make sure your relationship with him is in good standing. All right? You got to have spiritual boundaries. All right? Guard your time with God. Guard it. Say, hey, Sunday is the day that I'm spending time with God. Girl, we gonna go this. Oh man, no, this is my time. Because guess what? I've given time to everything else. I've given time and energy to everything else all week long. Why can I give time and guard my time with God? And not only am I talking about going to a synagogue, to a church, but I'm talking about guarding your time with God even in your own personal space, your own personal time with him. Not just collectively, but just alone time with him. If it's early in the morning, if it's late at night, don't allow distractions of the world and your work and people get in the way of your devotional time with God. All right? So you gotta have that time with him. You gotta spend that time with him. And if you spend time with him, you will become better. All right? Not only do we have to have time boundaries, emotional boundaries, spiritual boundaries. Here go number 4, y'all. You gotta have relational boundaries. Not every relationship, here go, y'all. Not every relationship deserves the same level of access. Let me say it again. Not every relationship deserves the same level of access. And that may be why you are becoming burnt out and you're tired, is because you're giving too much access to your life. You're making yourself too accessible, and you're making yourself just tangible to anybody. And there are tiers of relationship. There are tiers that we are everybody, and you got to quit calling everybody friend. They're not your friend. They are associates. You got to understand, there are tiers. There are tiers in this. You got associates. You got friends. You got close friends. You know, you have that friend that's like a brother and a sister. Then you got your best friend. There are tiers to this relational thing. But you're giving too much access to yourself to people that's not even in a relationship. You're committed to them, but they are not committed to you. And I want to say this too. In a relationship, you have to learn how to move beyond the you're welcome, and have a relationship where you're saying more so thank you, because they are giving and you're doing the taking. But you're not. You got to set boundaries when you're always doing the giving and they're always doing the taking. You have to set those boundaries. You're giving too much access. They know too much about you. They know too much about you. And a lot of times people want to be informed about you and want to know about you, so they can take what you're working on and try to build it up themselves, or to sabotage you, or to incriminate you. Or that's why you got to be careful who you tell your secrets to, who you confide in, because this is true, and this is a true statement. That the person that has ears to hear also have a mouth to talk. They are listening, but also they can get caught up in a conversation and, girl, oh man, I heard, or did you know such and such? And when you call them out on it, or you talk to them about it, you know what they say? I didn't say that. I didn't do. Yes, you did, because you're the only person I told that to. You know how many times I've done that? I've told something to one person, and then when it got back to me, I know where it came from. How did I know? Because I've only told one person. And so a lot of times you have to be careful. You're giving too much access, too much accessibility. Relationships come the in-depthness, the deeper the relationship, the more access you have. Just like there are people who come to my house, right? But you have to be, everybody don't show up at my house. Everybody don't come to my house. You don't have that access to me, because my house is considered a private place. It's a place where my family and I, this is our sanctuary. This is our private home. You know, this is our private sanctuary. This is where we relax. This is a place where we have fun, where we can be ourselves. We don't have to be the pastor. We don't have to be this person. We just be who we are and enjoy each other. But you give too much access. You got too much riffraff coming in and out your house. And then you wonder why stuff coming up missing in your house. It's because you got too much riffraff. You're giving too much access to yourself. You know, too much. And even, can I say this? And y'all, I got to press on. Even we give too much access to ourselves on social media. I don't need to know that you in another country. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know that if you're going to post pictures or anything, do it once you get back. Because you don't know who's lurking, you don't know who's looking, you don't know who's trying to, you don't know who's trying to steal, try to rob you. You don't know who, and so you giving access, because you putting everything you do. I'm at dinner. I don't care that you eating at dinner. You got to eat. But you're giving too much access, and then you get upset when people talk or people start talking about you, or people start commenting and they give their opinion. You getting upset. Well, you open yourself up for the opinion because you putting it out there. You giving too much access to. So you got to set boundaries. People don't know when I'm out the country. You'll never know when I'm out the country. You don't know when I'm at home. You don't know when I'm away, because I don't give that access. I don't give that to people. And you have to learn how not to give people so much access to you. There are people who have my cell phone number. They call me. I talk to my family. I talk to my best friend. You know, but there are people. Even Messenger and DMs. I get them. We get them all the time. Do I respond? People. Hey man, I'm looking to make new friends. I'm literally on making new friends right now because of the season where I'm in my life. I ain't trying to make no new friends. I'm not trying to make new friends because I don't know your motive. What is your motive right now? Why now you want to make friends? Why you want to be my friend? What do you see on social media? What do you see on my social media page platforms that make you want to be my friend? Why? I've been on social media for years. Why all of a sudden now you want to be my friend? I'm telling you, you're giving too much access. All right. Let me give y'all this last one. Then you got to have work boundaries. You got to set work boundaries. You got to, in order to be productive, you must take rest. You got to protect your Sabbath. What is the Sabbath? The day of rest. We say Sunday is our Sabbath. Monday is pretty much my Sabbath. I don't really do much on Mondays. I try not to. Weekends, Saturday, Sunday, it's rarely that I'm not doing nothing on those days. During the week, I'm kind of flexible. Monday is my day where I can lay in the bed as long as I want, and but that's my day where I protect. I protect that day, that Sabbath. I protect my family time. You got to spend time with your family. You got to make time for family because guess what? When everybody else is gone, you know who's gonna be there? Your family, your wife, your children, your brother, your sister, your mama, your daddy. Your family is going to be there. So you got to make family time, but then you got to make time for mental space. You got to make time to think. You got to make time to process stuff. You got to make time to evaluate, to get my mind together. And you're spending too much time. If you're constantly going, tell me when is the time you have stopped to take time to really just think about what you're doing. You got to set these boundaries. You got to set these boundaries. You got to rest, protect your Sabbath, protect your family time, protect your me time. It's okay to have me time. It's okay to have a spa day, a me day. I'm going to make sure I'm good. You making sure everybody else good. You putting energy into everybody else. Make sure you're good. Set those boundaries. We talk about boundaries, but boundaries is not a bad thing. This is what I need you to reflect on today. Where do you need to set a boundary to protect your peace and your purpose? Which one of these boundaries that you need to set? Or which one have you have set, but you have lowered it because you don't want to seem, people say you're bougie or you're unkind or she's stuck up or he think he too much. No, boundaries don't push people away. They point you back to really what matters most. That's really what boundaries does. All right. So if what I need you to do is we take one bold step towards honoring one of your boundaries. Hey, if it's the work boundary, emotional, if it's spiritual, whatever, take one of those boundaries that we have talked about and honor it and put it into practice. That's what I need you to do. Set those boundaries. If it's turning that phone off, if you're talking too much, and some of us, we have boundaries. We have to set boundaries even in communication. Sometimes we talk too much on the phone and it disturbs our spirit. It disturbs our mental. You get up first thing in the morning, you don't want to hear nobody gossip. Now, you got people who love that. But you don't want to get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, gossiping and talking about this. I don't want to hear that. Then you wonder why your day is all thrown off and why your day is not right. It's because what you have put in your spirit, what you put in your mind early in the morning. All right? So set boundaries. Set boundaries. All right, y'all. This has been a great episode. I thank y'all so much. And you need to set boundaries. If this episode has blessed you, I need you to share it with someone who's been pouring from an empty cup. Hey, because nothing from nothing leaves nothing, y'all. Two dead batteries can't charge each other up. Somebody got to be the one who's charged up, ready to keep going every day. And some days you just got to learn how to just back away from it and push it back and say, hey, I got to set these boundaries. All right. Hey, I would love to hear from you. Email me at growthgemspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's growthgemspodcast@gmail.com. I've been your host, Chris Briggs. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until our next episode, until we come together again, protect your purpose, steward your strength, and grow with grace. Remember, growth is a journey. It's not a destination. Hey, I'll see y'all on the next go around.
Welcome to the Growth Gems podcast. I'm so grateful to have you here with us today. I truly hope that you've enjoyed and learned something valuable from today's episode. Our goal is to provide you with the insights and inspiration you need to supercharge your growth journey, whether it's in your personal or professional life. As you know, growth is a never-ending adventure. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, triumphs and challenges. But it's those very challenges that help us grow and become better versions of ourselves. So no matter where you are in your growth journey, keep pushing forward, keep learning, and keep growing. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on future episodes. We have some amazing topics lined up that I know you won't want to miss. Also, follow us on social media. Facebook, Chris Briggs. Twitter at CABriggsSR. Instagram at CABriggsSR. Thank you for tuning in today, and I can't wait to see you again on our next episode of the Growth Gems podcast.